For most of your life, you've probably been giving away your power without even realizing it. I mean, every time you react to someone who doesn't deserve it, or you explain yourself to people who are never going to get it, you're handing over a piece of yourself. Well, today, that stops. We're going to break down exactly how you can reclaim that power and become, well, truly untouchable. So, let's just start with the biggest question of all. All that energy, that peace of mind, that sense of control you feel like you've lost, where did it actually go? Did somebody steal it? Did it just, vanish into thin air? Here's the hard truth, and it's a tough one to swallow. You gave it away. It wasn't stolen, it was a transaction. You handed over your power little by little, and often for absolutely nothing in return. But here's the good news. What you've given away, you can learn to keep. Okay, let's get into this. First things first, we have to completely reframe how you think about your focus. We need to stop seeing attention as just something you have and start seeing it for what it really is. It's something you spend. It is your most valuable currency. Think about it like this. Every single day, you wake up with a finite amount of mental and emotional cash in your pocket. And every single time you give someone your attention, whether you're responding to a snarky comment, getting sucked into drama, or just worrying about someone's opinion, you are making an investment. You are literally spending that resource. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the whole idea. Just like with money, when you start throwing your attention around carelessly, you end up emotionally and mentally broke. You've got nothing left for the people and things that actually matter. And this right here, this slide lays out the two choices you have. You can be the wise investor, someone who is selective, who calculates the return on investment, and who builds value. Or you can be emotionally broke, reacting to absolutely everything and investing all your energy into pointless drama. A true power player understands this difference inside and out. So I want you to really honestly think about this. That toxic person at work, that online troll, that friend who only ever brings you their problems. What is your ROI? What do you get back when you invest your precious attention in them? I'll tell you what it usually is. More stress, more frustration, and a whole lot of wasted time. You're getting a negative return. Okay, let's build on this. If your attention is such a valuable asset, you obviously need a way to protect it, right? So now we're going to shift from an economic metaphor to a defensive one. Your greatest defense isn't some clever comeback, it's a fortress of silence. Now, this is going to sound a little backward. When someone comes at you, when they attack you, your first instinct is to fight back with words, right? But what if I told you that the most powerful, the most aggressive move you could possibly make is to do absolutely nothing at all? Yep, silence. See, when you respond with words, you've already lost. You've entered their game, and you're playing by their rules. But responding with silence, that ends the game before it even has a chance to start. You simply refuse to play. And what's so fascinating here is the psychological game that silence triggers. Look at this process. An attacker provokes you because they are desperate for a reaction. When you give them nothing but pure silence, you rob them of the validation they crave. They're just left there, confused in this vacuum of uncertainty. And then their own mind creates the very chaos they wanted to inflict on you. They obsess, they replay it over and over, fighting a battle entirely inside their own head. Let's just break this down side by side because the contrast is so stark. Responding with words, that validates them, it gives them more ammunition. Responding with silence, on the other hand, gives them nothing. It starves them of the reaction they need, and it shows an indifference that is way more powerful than any insult you could ever come up with. And that's really the crucial point here. Silence communicates something that words just can't. It says, you are not worth my words, you are not worth my energy, you don't even register on my radar. And trust me, that feeling of being totally irrelevant is far more devastating to an opponent than any argument you could ever hope to win. So let's put it all together now. How do we combine this idea of attention as currency with the fortress of silence to create a mindset that is genuinely untouchable?
First, you have to internalize this idea completely. Your attention, all of your mental and emotional energy, is the most precious resource you possess. It's literally the gold in your personal vault. It is not and should not be given away freely to anyone who happens to ask for it. And if your attention is the gold, well, then your silence is the impenetrable steel vault door that protects it. It's the mechanism you use to deny access to all the energy vampires, the critics, and anyone else who wants to drain your wealth. You and only you decide when that door gets to open.
And that leaves us with one final, defining question. From this moment on, who will you decide is worthy of your currency? Who will you grant access to? By guarding your attention like gold and using your silence as a fortress, you stop giving your power away and you start making conscious, powerful decisions about who truly deserves to be in your world. The choice is finally yours.